What's up, everybody? It's your boy Asher Lewis. Um, Real quick, I just wanted to make an introduction to Forex video, and why I'm making this video is pretty much because a lot of the times when people speak like trading jargon, so like terms like lots or standard lots or $10 is is $1 million a pip or something like that. It's a bunch of confusing shit. Like it throws me off personally, but that's because I'm a slow ass person, man. Like if it's not simplified, I don't really know what the hell's going on, right? So obviously, if you're kicking ass on Forex, and you probably don't need this video, but if you're kind of like confused, or you're trying to teach somebody else that might have a problem, like a hard time understanding what the hell's going on or what things mean, then I mean, this video might actually be good to help them understand, without all the technical shit involved. All right, so I'm pretty much gonna go over like the terms and show you like how those terms can actually I'm pretty much gonna go over the terms and simplify in a new friendly-ish way to where people can understand what the fuck is going on. Okay. So, oh yeah, and also I'll do a brief description of how to actually like go through the platform because I know I have some people that chill with me that don't necessarily know what's going on in Forex here. So kill two birds with one stone. All right. So let's get started. Um, so pretty much, if you have MetaTrader, yeah, if you have MetaTrader 4 or 5, it really doesn't matter. Any MetaTrader. Then the only way to get your market watch actually up and moving is to have an actual demo account or a live account. You pretty much just need an active account, and then the market watch will start moving. All right, but I'm gonna open up a new account for anybody that maybe doesn't have MetaTrader, or even for anybody that really just would like to know how to make one in the future. Right. So this is your charting program, and also this is MetaTrader 5. So all these time frames I have up here, it's MetaTrader 5. I like MetaTrader 5 because of that. It gives me more charts to actually analyze the market on and whatnot, and it's just personal preference. I also use MetaTrader 4 because that's what the live brokers use. So I might as well get used to that platform, and that's what I'll trade with. But I just use 5 and 4 at the same time, so I can analyze the market through this and trade on 4. Right. So real quick, let me get it at one click trading real quick. All right, so let's say you want to open up an account for Forex. All right, what you're gonna want to do is you want to go to open account. Choose whatever server it is that you want to use. Right, click next. Future reference, if you have a live broker, you're gonna click on existing trade account, fill in your login information, password, and then of course, the broker's server that they told you to put in will be right here, right? And then log in, you'll be able to see all the charts. But for this one, we're gonna want to click new demo account. I'm gonna put in some bullshit ass information. All right. Now a little bit about leverage, right? All right. So what I've heard is leverage. The lower leverage that you have, supposedly you have to use a lot more money. To pretty much you have to borrow a lot more money in order to make bigger trades in a sense. But the higher leverage that you have, the lower money you have to put up in order to make bigger trades. All right. So I'm gonna give you a visual on this. So I'm gonna leave this default right now. All right, and I'm gonna leave the deposit in my account 10,000. All right. So I'm gonna click next. Incoming mail. So now we have the toolbox up, right? Anytime, in case, you feel like, oh, my candles are too small, I can't see shit, and you want to close your toolbox, just exit it out. If you want to bring your toolbox back, just go to view and click on toolbox, and also you get the shit back. Now, whenever you want to see your account balance, you're going to want to click on trade. All right. So now when you click on trade, you'll be able to see your $10,000 in the balance, equity, and free margin. All right. Now, let's get this straight. All right. So margin, like I've been hearing that for a while, and honestly, I didn't know what the fuck that was. Right. But then yesterday I was playing around with I was playing around with Forex, and I figured out a simplified way to actually get people to understand this. Right. I also saw a little bit from a friend who gave me some information on it. So pretty much margin is like your broker telling you, hey man, you put $10,000 in this account, man. Well, you know what? Here's a fucking bonus. We're gonna give you some extra money to play with, right? But here's the kicker. It says you can take higher investments based on the money that we're lending you. But the thing is though, if you lose that money, then we're gonna come for your ass, and you gonna owe us a shit some more. You know, you gonna pretty much have to pay all that shit back. All right, but you know, go ahead and do this because I know you're a greedy ass motherfucker, and and we want you to potentially lose our shit so you can pay us. So whatever you put in for your balance, every much you deposit in your account, broker's actually gonna 50% match you. All right. Now this is what I've seen on demo. I don't know if live is any different, but pretty much they're gonna match you for however much you put in, right? So that's why it says 10,000. Cool for the margin, because that's how much extra you can take and shit. Now, if I'm wrong, correct me in the video, but this is my understanding, right? Now, I'm going to show you how this whole leverage thing works real quick, because leverage and margin were the hardest things for me to understand for a while, all right? So let's say I want to take a trade. Let's say I find an asset that I like or some shit, right? So let's see, it's currently down and shit. So we'll just do this. Hold this for the next 2 hours, all right? So I'm going to sell, right? Now, what the hell did you just do, Asher? Well, let me show you, right? So let's say I find an asset that I like and whatnot, right? This kind of looks like a candle pattern, so I said, fuck it. I'm going to take it, you know, for a sale for the next 2 hours. I'm going to hold it, right? So as you can see, this green line shows up, right? And my candle is above the thing, right? What this means is with the green line, I chose it for a sale. So whenever that candle crosses over my green line, that means I'm gonna start getting paid finally. You will always start negative profit as soon as you enter a trade on Forex, right? And then if the line is above my candle, then anytime that candle crosses above that line, and fucking, you know, then I'll be able to start making some money and stuff like that, all right? Now, let's say you want, you know, let's say your candle pattern, it shows you that the market has a good chance to go down. You're like, oh shit, hell yeah, I'm gonna take it for a put, right? So if you want to take a profit and you say, hey, I want to make a certain amount of money, right here is cool or some shit. All right then. And I'm gonna put my TP right there, which is take profit, right? And then whenever the market hits that line, guess what? It's gonna close out, and I would have just made $41 profit. You scroll over your red line, it tells you exactly how much you'll make and how many pips that'll be, right? Now let's say, just in case the market goes against you because you made a dumbass trade, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to click and drag up here, and then it'll tell you, all right, then if any time the market hits that red line, it's going to close you out of your trade. You would have just lost $89. And it'll tell you, all right, 89 pips and stuff, right? So that's pretty much the gist as far as that goes, right? So wherever you want. For me personally, I'll set stop losses, but I don't really set take profit because I'm a greedy ass motherfucker. That's just me personally, all right? But you know, at the end of the day, if you got goals and you hit your goals, you might as well, because sometimes the market will flip on you and then you'll go broke with the quickness, right? So just set that shit up, right? Now, so the red lines will always be your stop loss, so you take profit. And the green line, once the market candle crosses over that, that's when you start getting paid, all right? Now, what I did was, well, Asher, how come I'm gonna lose $89 or only win 41? Well, volume is kind of like your investment. So for everybody that's familiar with binary options, you know how, you know, if you find an asset and you're like, oh hell yeah, man, this shit looks good. So you say how much money I want to make right now. Well, it's 80%, right? So I'm gonna type in 100. You know, I'm gonna type in $100 or some shit, right? And then the payout percentage would be like 80%, like a AUD USD or some shit like that. So once you win your trade, you're gonna get 80% of whatever your $100 was in profit, right? So you would have just made $80, but you typed in that $100. You feel me? Like you typed in that investment size. It's pretty much the same thing on Forex, and this is what volume is, right? And volume is pretty much typing your investment size. Now you say, all right, one volume, all right? What this means is this is gonna be the value of how much your pips cost, right? Now I say micro pips because 10 micro pips is actually just one pip, and it's easier to understand rather than just, you know, oh fucking I just made 5 pips, nigga. Now I got $50 or some shit, nigga. Like it's I like to simplify shit, okay? So that's what this is right here, right? Now, so one volume, right? So what this means is every little single micro pip that goes on, like in here, it says 909. Every little single micro pip that it moves is gonna be worth $1. Now, if it moves in your favor, like you see it's 905, I would have just made $4, right? But it's underneath my green line, so I'm still in negative profit. But that's how it works. All right. Now, for every little micro pip that it moves against you, you lose $1. And for every micro pip that it goes in your favor, you make $1, right? So as long as you're in the bulk, like as long as you choose the right trend and the right trend, and you know where the hell the market's moving, then you'll have a good idea. You'll be in profit pretty much. But as you know how to like gauge your candles and figure out the candle sizes and all that stuff like that, you can pretty much gauge how much money you have the potential to make, and also how much money you have the potential to lose. All right. So that's a little bit about volume, right? Now, what else do I need to go over this? Right. So that's volume. All right. Oh yeah. Let's say like again, you know how to gauge your candles and whatnot. So let's say, all right, you set your stop loss rather than just dragging or whatever heck, right? You can decide, all right, I'm only willing to lose this much money, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna look at your entry point and you realize that for every micro pip that's against you, right, you can lose $1, right? So if my strike rate on this was 914 and I'm only willing to lose $50 on this shit, then what I want to do is I'm gonna do the 914 plus 50, right? And that's gonna be like 64 or whatever, right? So whenever the market, hits 64, it's gonna instantly close me out because I don't want to lose more than $50. Now my take profit, let's say I wanted to make $50, but what I'm gonna want to do is I want to subtract that from 914, right? Because the market will be going down for a sale. And whenever the market goes down and hits, that subtracted number, it's gonna take me out and I'm gonna make $50. So you decide how much you're willing to lose and how much you're willing to make. You decide all that. All you gotta do is just type in the numbers. Just some simple math and subtraction. I'm adding subtraction. So that's all that is, right? So that's a little bit about how this goes and the buys and the sells, your stop loss, volume, all that shit. It's the same as trading binary. The only difference is how you get paid, and yeah, it's how you get paid, and there's no expiries. And that's the cool thing. You see how there's a shit ton of green candles and red candles. At the end of the day, candles either gonna end as a green candle, red candle, or a fucking doji. Like that shit for a fact. So the thing is, if you catch a nice ass reversal, hell man, fucking trade that shit till expiry time. Shit, this is a 4 hour candle. If this shit ends red, nigga, I'm holding it until this candle closes. It's 2 hours from now, right? It's gonna end red. So I'm gonna be in profit because it's gonna be underneath my shit, my little green line, right? And let's say, what if the next candle decides, hey, I want to be a red candle too? If I hold that shit and the pattern, fills out and whatnot, then I'm gonna get paid some more, right? So me personally, my trading preference, I always trade candles. That's what I do. And I trade that shit till expiry. But that's just me though. So anyways, that's a little bit about how that works, right? Now let's go over the complicated shit. That way you actually know what the hell's going on, right? So as you can see, I have so if you go to, oh yeah, that's right. Let's slow back. So if I want to pull up my trades again, because I want to see what the fuck is going on in the market, right? I'm gonna go to toolbox, right? When I click on toolbox, again, you get to see my balance was just $10,000, right? Again, I close the trade whenever I want. So currently, because of the market, I'm negative $42, right? Now, equity is pretty much your current account balance, added or subtracting, the actual profit of your trade. Since I'm negative 38, you subtract that from, 10,000, that's what my equity is, right? Now, here's how you can understand margin, all right? Here's the easiest way to understand it. Based on your leverage, all your margin for your investments will be different. So again, when we first started, you saw my demo account, I was 1 in 100 for my leverage, right? So I only bought one volume, right? And that one volume cost me 788.89 margin, right? So that's how much one volume costs a 1/100 leverage for me, right? Now, free margin is my free margin is it says 9,170, right? So this is how much money the broker is actually allowing to lend, allowing to give me in order, to make my trades in a sense, right? Now, since one volume costs 788 margin, right? How much do you think two volume will cost? And now you will pay attention, you'll see how this number is actually kind of subtracted from that. Let's up the ante to 2 volume to see what happens, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here, 1 volume again, so I'm gonna click another position, so let me sell. And you see how kind of that 788 kind of doubled? And look where it is now, right? it damn nearly doubled, right? Because that's how much one margin costs. I mean, one volume cost was half of that. I did two volume and it just doubled my account. I doubled my margin limit, right? So what happens is it subtracted that from my free margin, right? So to figure out how much you can invest on your trades and whatnot, just think of it like this, right? Think of it like this, right? Think like you're kind of like think like you're kind of like buying candy bars in a sense, right? And a candy bar is like $1, right? It's like worth $1, right? Well, no matter how many candy bars you buy, you know damn well that's gonna cost $1, right? So this is pretty much the cost of your volume in order to get on that investment, right? So one volume would have cost 78, but two candy bars is gonna cost me 15.78. If I want to buy two more candy bars, it's gonna double this amount because it's just simple multiplication. So let's do that. Let's say I'm a hungry ass fat motherfucker. I want to buy two more candy bars. Well, look at this. Oh shit, it doubled again, right? So four volumes cost me 3,156 margin out of my original 10, right? Now, if I so that lets me know, all right, I have 6,700 margin left. Well, guess what? I can only buy probably like, let's see, four. If that's four, so if I double that to six, I can only probably buy like eight more margin. So eight more volumes. So the max I can have is like 12, right? And once I have 12, this is gonna be damn near zero, and I can't afford anything else, right? Now, notice that the more volume I purchase, the lower my margin level gets. Now, what I've heard, I don't know if it's true or not because I'm still learning about margin, but from what I heard, when this margin level percent goes underneath 40%, the broker has the opportunity to do a margin call. And what that happens is they can close out your trade at any time they want, right? So if you're in a shit ton negative profit, you got all that volume going on, whatnot, right? You borrowed all that, borrowed all that margin from them, and they do a margin call. Well, guess what? It's gonna come straight out your balance. They're not even gonna let you play around with the fluctuation of the market. It's gonna cut you off. They're gonna take you off the nipple and say, "Nigga, you eating formula now." Because you done suck my nipples dry, and I can't deal with the teeth anymore. They pretty much cut you off, right? So if you don't want a margin call from and this is my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you don't want a margin call to happen against you and to go broke, then pretty much just don't get to the point where you have so much volume to where there's hardly any margin or free margin to play with. Because once this hits zero, now you owe the broker money, right? So don't do too much margin to where you owe them, and this percentage is hella low. Like just be reasonable with it. You feel me? So that's a lit. So again, let's sell this out because I want to show you exactly how this works. So I'm gonna go to three. And I'm gonna sell that shit. Close three monster. And now I'm back at one volume, right? Now, as you see, I was a negative profit and I closed three volume of that, right? So when I closed my trade, it instantly came out of my balance. So I lost $48, $47.25 because I closed my trade out. Now, if the market would have went in my favor, I would have closed out in profit. But since I closed it out right there, right, that's how much it came out. You can close your trade anytime you want. Now, as you can see, one volume again is worth $789, right? I had a leverage of 1 in 100, right? So obviously you can tell I only have enough money to buy like 12 volume tops on this, right? Now what happens if I want to change my margin to, let's say, 1/500? Well, let's find out. Let's open up a new demo account, right? And you're gonna come here again, put in some like bullshit ass information. So we're gonna go here and I'm gonna click 1/500. All right. So I do 1/500, right?
Incoming mail.
Let's say I want to do the same exact trade, right? So I'm gonna take one volume, sell, and then look at that. So the same account balance, same everything, right? But one volume only cost me 157 margin, right? So because I had a higher leverage, I now have the opportunity to borrow more money. To pay less for this candy bar, right? But pretty much it's like a 2-for-1 deal in a sense, right? It's like those incentives, right? It says buy one get three for free or some shit like that. It's like one of those, right? So you have a cheaper price for your candy bar. And because it's cheaper, now you still have more money in your pocket to buy more candy bars. So on a 1/100 leverage, one volume cost me 789. But on a 1/500 leverage, one volume cost me 157. And now I can buy more volume with the free margin and take higher investments. So the way I see it is, if you're a smart ass trader and you be like, damn, I don't have a whole lot of money like to play with, but I know that I'm a sick ass trader. I'm confident in my abilities. Well, all you have to do is just take a high ass leverage, and then you can invest more, right? Then you can invest less money to take higher trades. So it's pretty smart. A low leverage would be like, all right, I'm not too confident in my shit in a sense. And again, this is just my preference, so don't hold me account. Don't hold this against me. But it'd be like a low leverage would be like, oh, I'm not too confident, in my shit, and I don't want to make the mistakes of blowing out my margin off some dumbass trades. So let me do a low leverage. That way, I have that cap as to how much I can invest, right? So a cap would be like, if you did like 24 options on binary options trading, right? The highest investment you could do on 24 options was like 100,000 per trade, and I believe it was 75,000 per turbos. But I know it was at least either 75 or 100,000. I believe it's 100,000, total per investment, right? But you can't do anything higher than that unless you stack your positions, right? Well, on Boss Capital, the cap for a trade was 7,500. So 75 max was what you can do on that. Now, unless you supposedly talk to your broker and they open that up for you. But just to the general public, 7,500 is max, right? Well, a cap would be like the leverage. A high leverage is pretty much saying, hey, you have a wider cap for you to make higher investments. A lower leverage is pretty much saying, hey, you have a lower cap to make fewer investments because of that shit. And the same principle applies. So on a 1/100 leverage, I was only able to buy like 12 volume tops. But if I do this right here, right, and I could do, so now I have 25 volume, right? 25. Now 12 was the highest on 1/100, but I have 25, and that's not even half of my margin. You feel me? So higher leverage, the higher investments, the more investments you could do. Lower leverage, the lower investments you can do. Understand? That's pretty much leverage. Just simplifying this shit. Cool? All right. And also, as the market's either moving in or out of your favor, the margin changes up. All right. The free margin keeps switching up though. All right. So understand that that fluctuation makes all the difference. Don't buy too much volume to the point to where you can't handle the fluctuation. Your free margin goes out, and now you're hitting the negatives, and that margin level's going lower down, right? Because again, if the margin call hits, you're gonna get fucked in the ass. Excuse the language, but I'm just how I speak. All right, all right. So that's a little bit about that, right? And again, anytime you want to close this shit out, you just type in the volume that you want to close, right? Oh, okay, okay. And while we're at it, it's negative profit right now, so it's gonna read difference. Anyway, so let's just close this. So we'll close out 24 of that. So request. Damn, maybe I should hold it for a second just so I could be in positive. But I want this video to keep going, so fuck it. I'm gonna just take it. So I'll sell out real quick. Uh, yeah, close out 24. All right. Now, my current price is the 8916, right? 8916, right? That's my entry point price, and this one is the 918. So it's the 918 price, right? So again, everything. Matter of fact, because these numbers are off, I'm gonna change it up real quick. So let me close it out and let me take it again, because I want this to be as simple as hell, right? Sometimes those numbers be off. So let's do sell. Okay, so now I got a normal number, right? So it's 78906. That's my strike, right? I mean, that's my entry strike. Now this is the current market strike, all right? Now, as soon as this price goes underneath this shit, that's when I'm gonna start getting paid. Now, volume, every single micro pip is worth $1. You see how I'm losing by 3 micros? That's why I'm negative. I was negative $3. The more micros I'm losing by, that's how many dollars I'm losing. the more micros that I'm in the money with. That's how many dollars I'm getting paid, right? And it's the same for whatever volume you do. If you did 10 volume and I'm negative 7 micros, then I'm negative $70. Simple multiplication. That's all it is, right? And again, if you know how to gauge your candle sizes, then you know exactly how much potential money you're able to make, per pretty much per time frame. What the heck, right? So it's just a matter of that. Well, let's see. Anything else I'm forgetting? Anything else I'm forgetting? Shoot. I think that covers everything, unless I'm tripping. Oh, I think that covers the basics. I don't know what deviation means. I don't know what comment means. Probably just some notes you want to take, whatever, right? Um, pending order. I've never tried pending order before. So honestly, I don't know about this, but if I figure it out and I'll make another video about it, or but I'm pretty sure it's not that hard to understand. If you understand the Forex platform, then you should be good. This was just pretty much to clarify terms, but I'll play around with pending and I'll figure that out. Modify positions, pretty much just changing up your stop losses and take profits, and it's just the same shit. So that's really all it is. But play around with it and you can figure it out. But again, I just wanted to make this intro video to do that. And if pending order is what I think it is, I think that'd be perfect to trade with. But I honestly haven't played with it, so I don't want to talk about it while this video is going good. Okay. Just remember, um, the spread. The spread is whenever you want to take a trade. Just remember, it's always going to be a spread, and the green line will be that spread. Whatever spread you choose, that's where the green line will show up. And whenever the market crosses over that spread, that's when you'll finally start making money. But you always start in negative profit. Now, if you look on the spread on this, the difference on this spread is only about 18 micros, 890 between, wait, hold up. I think I'm looking at it wrong. I think that's 8 micros. So what is that? Move this out of the way. Okay, so it says, 900 and 908. The spread on this is 8 micros. All right. So that's really not a high spread at all, man. And you see how cheap this one is. Now, if I went to like an exotic pair or something like this, look at the spread on this. 460 to 592, that's 133 micro difference. So just keep in mind that depending on what pairs you trade on, the spread will always be different spreads. You know, spreads that are kind of like more common. I mean, assets that are kind of like more common. The spreads are a lot more reasonable. Like 8 micros, that ain't shit. Like 10 micros right here, that ain't shit. You can get in the money faster. If you do something like this, like 132 micros negative, and you take a trade on that, then instantly you're gonna start whatever your volume is times that negative, times that negative number. So one volume at 130, negative, that's net. I'll just show you, right? I'll show you. It'd be easier to do this, right? So just it look like this. So let's say I want to do like a buy on this shit or the fuck, right? So look at this, ridiculous. So buy. See that shit? One volume, but I instantly start $134 negative because of how that shit is. It's because of the spread. So it's like, don't be an idiot and trade these high ass assets, man. Even if you think you know what the fuck you're doing, even if you know what the fuck you're doing, it's just less money to make because of these ridiculous ass spreads. But I mean, do you, boo boo? Like for real, for real. But it's just easier to trade more common assets because the spreads are always, you know, shorter in a sense, right? So that's just my personal opinion, right? So exotic spreads are shitty as hell, right? So don't fuck with them. And also, if you don't want to click, if you honestly don't want to click new order every single time and go through all this shit, an easier way to trade will be you just click on one-click trading. Once you click on one-click trading, this little box will come up. Type in your volume right here, simple stuff. And then again, all you're gonna do is you're just gonna either click those direct. You just click your stuff. So you click. Let's say you want to do a buy, right? All you do is click it, instantly shows up down here. If you want to close out your trade, you just do this. Opposite direction, instantly closes it out. Simple stuff like that. Same thing. That's your spread. It's the easiest, just one-click trading. You can figure it out. And when you want to set up your stop losses and your take profits, just click and drag. Simple as that. That's all you do. It sets both numbers. And that's the easiest way to trade Forex, right? So I just wanted to make this video. I hope it helps. I just, like I said, again, I just wanted to go over the basics. And I hope this cleared up some things for people. And just keep in mind that, again, just keep in mind what I said about margin, leverage. If you have any comments or concerns, just feel free to talk about it. And if I said anything wrong, and just, feel free to correct me. But just remember that the higher leverage you have, the more you can invest on trades. And the lower leverage you have, then the fewer you can, invest on trades. And that's pretty much the gist of Forex. And close out whenever you feel like you've made enough money for the day. So I hope this helps some people. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And I'm learning the platform as well, but I feel like this is good information to share. So I hope it helps somebody. Y'all have a great one. And happy, good luck trading, man. So I wish everybody the best. Have a good one.